In this video, you're going to learn how to change negative beliefs about yourself as an athlete. Hey there, I'm Eli Straw, mental performance coach and the founder of SuccessStartsWithin.com. If you have negative beliefs about yourself, these need to change because negative beliefs are only going to hold you back. But the question is, how can you change these negative beliefs, especially if they feel like they are controlling you and you have no power over them? Well, the thing is, we have to first look at how did these negative beliefs form in the first place? Negative beliefs form out of repetition. So whether this was happening subconsciously, whether it was something that you actually thought about yourself or you heard other people talking about, as soon as that seed is planted of a negative belief or a negative thought, if you're not careful, it starts to get watered by further negative thoughts. One of the main ways that this can happen in sports is if you have a negative game. So you play really badly, your coaches yell at you, maybe you feel like you lost it for your team, but something like that happens. And in that moment, you might just be very frustrated, but you may not be paying attention to the impact that's going to have on your game moving forward. But moving forward, let's fast forward a few months, a year, a few years. What this can form into is a natural thought pattern of negative beliefs. Beliefs that you have about yourself, such as, I'm not good enough, I'm never going to be able to succeed, I'm not a clutch player. Whenever you have those negative beliefs, they can become self-fulfilling prophecies. And no matter how hard you train, if you hold on to these core negative beliefs and you don't work on changing those, then they're never going to go away. Now, how can we actually change these negative beliefs? To change negative beliefs, what we need to do is look at how they're formed in the first place. I said that they're formed by repetition. You repeatedly seeing yourself as not good enough. Now, I'm not saying that you are doing this consciously, because for the most part, this is happening subconsciously, right? Where you are just naturally thinking negatively. You're not paying attention to how negatively you're thinking. And so it's very easy to start beating yourself up after a bad mistake or after a bad game. And that's where I'm talking about this repetition. That's where that repetition comes into play. When you're wanting to change negative beliefs, so those core negative beliefs you have about yourself and your game, you can take this idea of repetition, but you're going to use it to your advantage. So you're actually going to do it consciously. The exercise that I like to use whenever we're dealing with changing negative beliefs is known as a self-talk exercise. This is also known as cognitive restructuring. It's where you first identify the current negative beliefs or the negative thoughts you have about yourself. Now, I will admit, this is not a very fun part about the exercise. It's not a very fun thing to do. But you need to come face to face with these negative beliefs because then we can create some alternatives that are going to attack these negative beliefs. Now, once you've come up with your list of negative beliefs or the negative thoughts, and the reason that I say negative thoughts is because what is a belief? A belief is just a thought that you've had repeatedly, so it's ingrained in your memory and it's ingrained into your belief system. So that's why I'm talking about thoughts. It's much easier for us to choose different thoughts to have and then know that over time, by having those different thoughts, that's going to then change your beliefs. So you've outlined these negative thoughts, these negative beliefs. Now what you want to do is you want to come up with some positive alternatives, some alternatives that you want to have. So if your belief is, I'm never going to succeed, a positive alternative might be, I know that I'm working hard every day. I know that I'm going to achieve my goals, or I'm getting better every single day, something like that. If you say I'm not a clutch player, you could say I am a clutch player, or I always come through when it counts. Because what we're talking about right here are beliefs, the way that you see yourself. So what you're going to do is you're going to create that new list of positive alternatives that are going to work on reframing these beliefs. Now, the way that this is actually going to work, the way that you're actually going to alter those beliefs, is through the repetition that follows. You need to outline those positive alternatives, and that's a great step, and that's a necessary step, but that's just the beginning. The real altering of your beliefs happens when you start to repeat these new statements to yourself every single day. This does take work, but it's going to be beneficial to you, and it's going to be worth it if it actually changes these core beliefs. So what you want to do is you want to take that new list, and you want to repeat it to yourself every single day. To make this exercise even more impactful, I always recommend to rewrite the statements as well. So it can look like this. You've come up with your list of positive alternatives. Now, every single morning when you get up, you rewrite the list. After you've rewritten the list, you read it over to yourself. And then once more before you go to bed, you reread the list again. It's as simple as that, but it does take that level of work and that level of effort. Because remember, your beliefs that you have about yourself and your game as an athlete right now they have formed because of repetitive ways of thinking. Whether those were happening consciously or subconsciously, they happened and they were there and they formed these negative beliefs. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just the facts right now. But now you can change your negative beliefs by taking that idea of repetition and using it to your advantage. So outline your negative beliefs, then come up with your positive alternatives, and then what you want to do is you want to repeat them to yourself every single day, because remember, those thoughts, repeated often enough, are going to form new beliefs about yourself and your game. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I put out new videos each day on sports psychology and mental training. Thank you for watching, and I wish you the best of success in all that you do.